Hi everyone, welcome back to today's video. If you are new here, my name is Christine. I am so happy you are here today. As you can tell by the title, today we are going to do a July reading wrap up, which we had a lot of fun in July. I will say this has been one of my better reading months as for like quality of books. Did we have some DNFs? Yes, okay. We had a back-to-back DNF situation, which is never fun. But I am excited to show you guys what we read on this journey today. I will say most of the books I checked out this month were from the library, so good for that, support your local library, but I don't have a lot of the copies with me. Of course, I do have my handy dandy iPad, so I can pull up my Goodreads and kind of see what I rated them, all that stuff. I can show you what the title looks like, everything. So yeah, with that being said, there will be kind of two parts to this video. The first one will be covering my July TBR, like what I read versus what I didn't, and then the second part will be reviewing the books that I did read. So kick back, relax, get yourself a snack, a fun drink. I honestly just have my water here today because it is 104 degrees in Texas and I don't want to dehydrate. You know what they say, hydrate or dihydrate. So yeah, with that being said, let's get into the books that were on my TBR. If you guys saw my TBR video, I had so many books checked out in the month of July. And were my eyes a little bit bigger than my brain could handle all the reading? Yes, but I will say we did get some knocked off. I did return a few, okay. Expiration Dates was too much like The Love of My Afterlife. I just wasn't in the mood to read it. It was magical realism, and I just didn't feel like reading it right now. There was another one as well, Off the Air. That did not interest me, y'all. I thought I would like political books. I didn't. I was bored. It was just not a good book. I read like 15 pages in and I just didn't enjoy it. So I was like, DNF. And I didn't even count towards my full DNFs because I was like, this is honestly so boring. I never am going to talk about this book in my life or remember it. So that was a terrible book. Will not be rereading. As for one, I still do have here, Deepened. I do want to read this, but I have so many other summer books that I want to get through. And this one is not particularly summer themed. So I am going to return this one to the library. I do see it is on Kindle Unlimited, so I'll probably read it eventually, just not now. There are a few books from my July TBR that I'm moving to my August TBR, but that will be in my TBR video, so stay tuned. But yeah, that's kind of how the July TBR went, so let's go into what I actually read and what I accomplished off my July TBR. So the first book I read in July, we started out not with a banger. This book is called I Was a Teenage Slasher, and we did not start off with a banger, guys. I was so excited to read this. Basically, it is about a high school student, his story on how he became a serial killer in the town, and basically it was not good at all. It was just like, I don't know, I just hated the writing style. It was so confusing. It was basically as if you got dropped in the middle of a like 500-page book, you're on page 250, and like you had no reference to what was going on before. That's the way I would describe this book. It was not enjoyable. I got 15 pages in and just stopped reading it. I was so confused as to what was happening. I hated the writing style. Like, it was such a cool concept of a book, but I just couldn't get past it. And unfortunately, I did have to DNF it. Next up, I read Sea Friendship by Jeremy Gordon, and I had such high hopes for this book. So basically, we follow this writer. He is a journalist, and he is upset that media is dead, basically, physical media. Everyone's going towards podcasting and stuff, and the concept was so good. I thought this was gonna be really good. Journalism was like my favorite class in school. Like, I thought it was gonna be so good, and it was just so slow and boring. Basically, he comes up with a podcast idea to save his job about his friends who have died. He has like a bunch of friends in high school who have died, and he's following this one in particular who basically had a overdose, and he finds out, everything is not what it seems. And I just feel like the mystery was revealed too early in the beginning. I only got 100 pages in this book. It was just so boring. None of the characters were memorable. Like, I think it could have been so much better. I did rate it on Goodreads because I did read 100 pages of it, a 1.5 star. I did enjoy the journalism elements of it, but I couldn't get past it. I don't know if any of the other y'all have read this book. Like, I looked up the ending, and I'm glad I didn't spend time reading the rest of it because it just seemed boring and kind of predictable. So yeah, I'm hoping this author in the future can have some better books come out, but this one was boring and it just sucks. I hate when there's a good concept and the book sucks. Next book I finished, the first book I actually finished this month, is Matt Haig's The Life Impossible. Matt Haig is one of my favorite authors, y'all. Like, he just does it every time. The Midnight Library is my all-time favorite book. Like, that is a 10-star read, or a 12-star read, as they would say, a 6-star read. Who knows? Give him all the stars. Like, it is so, so good. And I had a feeling The Life Impossible was gonna be, like, really awesome. So I did go into it, like, fingers crossed. Basically, we follow Grace. Grace is an older woman who doesn't have any more friends, really. She's done her career. Her husband has passed away. Her child passed away also. So she lives a very quiet, sad life. She deals with a lot of guilt from her past decisions, things like that. Basically, she has a friend, or not even a friend, an acquaintance, who leaves her a house in Ibiza. And she's like, what the heck? Why did this lady leave me this house? And she takes the risk and goes to Ibiza, and she finds out why the girl left her this house. And it is such an interesting story. We meet some really good characters along the way. One of the fishermen that we meet, he's like an older man. Oh my God, the story was so, so good. I love this story so much. There is an element of magical realism, which I went into it not knowing that. And it's funny, it said that on the side of the book. It said like magical realism at my library. I just wasn't paying attention. And I usually don't read magical books, so I'm actually glad I didn't see that, because I probably would have put it back. But this was just incredible. If you're like in a life slump, I feel like you need some like extra courage, some extra motivation to follow your dreams, live your life to the fullest. A Matt Haig book will always do it. And The Life Impossible in particular really did it for me. Also in this book, there is a Mirrorball reference, like the Taylor Swift Mirrorball song. And that, I actually gasped. And I was like, okay, the 2 DNFs this month were worth it to get to here. Because having that moment in a book, I was like, oh, I love it. I really also enjoyed the atmosphere. It felt like a great summer read. Just like the beach, Ibiza, woo, party. I remember there is like a touch of environmentalism in the story. So they're talking about protecting the environment from big corporations. So if you enjoy eco-friendly books, I feel like you would enjoy this. And the ending, I did cry. So yeah, with that being said, it was a great story. The only con about this, it was a bit wordy at times. Like, I felt like he was kind of like really just, he was in there typing, and we got the words. Okay, we got it. But other than that, it's still a 10-star read for me, and I would definitely recommend that you read this book. The next book I read was Love of My Afterlife, and this was a 4-star read for me. Honestly, almost a 5-star. I think I rated it like a 9 out of 10, so we'll say 4.5 stars. This book was so good. Love of My Afterlife is by Kirsty Greenwood, and this is the first romance book I have probably read in over a year. I don't read a lot of romance books, but this book got me back into romance, I'll say that. The way I would describe this book, it's like a rom-com combined with like a feel-good life movie. So kind of similar to like The Life Impossible. I was just looking for some good life motivation. Throughout this book, I was laughing, crying, shedding tears. There's just so much good stuff. The book takes place in London. We follow Delphi, who is a introvert. She basically likes being inside a lot, and she is just not with her social game, okay? She is not out here socializing. She's not here doing anything. And she dies by choking on a hamburger in the first like 10 pages of the book, and she ends up in the afterlife. And basically in this part of the book, she meets an afterlife therapist. You know, it's super quirky. I will say one thing about this book. So many jokes, so much quirkiness. Like, I was audibly laughing. I love a book that like can make me laugh and smile and can invoke a reaction. Books that invoke reactions and like emotion for me are my favorite books, of course. So she runs into this afterlife therapist, and she also meets another guy who had passed away. But the guy who passed away on accident, so they sent him back down to earth. And then she's like, no, that guy, like, we had the best connection. And so she makes a deal with the afterlife therapist. If she comes back down to earth and can get the guy to kiss her in 10 days, then she can stay on earth. So she is sent back down to earth and has to find the guy that she kissed, or the guy that she had that connection with in the afterlife. This book is so quirky, so funny. You meet so many friends along the way. You meet her neighbor, who is really grumpy, but we find out later kind of why he's grumpy, things like that. We also meet her friends. We meet her other neighbor, who is an older man that she takes care of. There is just so much friendship throughout this book, and there's so much characters, and there is a twist that I honestly did not see coming. The twist was insane. So you probably might be able to figure out sooner than later, but it was such a good trope. And then at the end, there is a shared bed trope, which I was obsessed with. So I was very happy about that. Like the forced proximity. So that was great. You just go through like so many of, you just like we went on so many adventures throughout London, and I was like, I want to visit London now. Like, it was a great time, and I would say the ending of the book was perfect. Of course, I shed some tears, so it was a great book. I would say overall, this book like really taught me how to live life to the fullest and to just get out of your comfort zone. That's the biggest takeaway from The Love of My Afterlife, and I definitely recommend you read it. So the next book I read after that was The Goldens. I was in the mood for a mystery. Mystery books are always my favorite because I don't like when tropes are revealed in like romance books. Like, that actually kind of irks me. I'm like, don't tell me the trope. I want to find out myself. Like, I want to read the book and know what the trope is. Does anyone else like that? Like, I cannot stand when the trope is like revealed too early. So mysteries, therefore, are always my favorite because the trope doesn't get revealed to the end. So, yeah, I read The Goldens by Lauren Wilson. This is a brand new book, and I'm so glad my library had it in stock. I was like, okay, library, like, y'all are getting the good books in, like, week of release. So this book is about two girls, both in college. One is a shy girl, she's a freshman, and the other is an influencer. Basically, they cross paths, and Clara becomes really good, or sorry, Chloe, the names are Chloe and Clara. I forget which is which, but Chloe is the freshman who meets Clara, who is the college influencer. They become friends, but not everything is as it seems. This influencer has a lush, posh life, if you would say, and you follow her, and she is just not, she's a little bit off. You're like, okay, maybe she's just a little bit different. Like, maybe she just has an odd personality. She doesn't open up to people, or like she's just overly friendly. I don't know. I don't want to give too much away, but like something's off there. Basically, she invites Chloe to live with her because Chloe's dorm situation isn't that good. And Chloe comes to live with Clara, and everything is not as it seems, okay? There is some cult-like things happening. There is just weirdness. There's parties being thrown, all these lavish parties that are just not what they seem. So there's a lot of drama in this book, lots of mystery. I feel like it was really cozy academia. I would say I recommend you read this book in the fall. Like, it was so, so good, especially for the fall time. I was just so cozy reading this. It was a great mystery. The only thing I didn't like about it at the end, spoiler alert, spoiler skip if you don't want to spoiler, I didn't like, it was kind of giving low-key like satanic with like the bloody dress and stuff, which I know it was supposed to. It was supposed to be like a cult thing, but I just got weirded out by that. But overall, it was a great book. I rated it, I believe, 4.5 stars, and I for sure definitely recommend that you read it. And the last book I read this month is Summer in the City, which has been on my TBR all summer long, and I'm so glad I finally read it. I finished this last night. Basically, we are following Elle, who is in New York City, and she meets this tech billionaire who she had actually met before and in another timeline, and she is just not happy. She does not like billionaires. She has a problem with money. She doesn't like anyone who kind of flaunts their money. So throughout the story, we find Elle in a situation where she runs into Parker. Parker Warren is the tech billionaire. And they kind of do like a quid pro quo. Is that the right word? Okay, don't come at me if that's not the right word. But they kind of do a situation where it's like, hey, if you do this for me, if you help me do my screenwriting, I will help you, fake date. So there is a fake dating trope in this. It says that on here, so that's not a spoiler. But they are fake dating throughout, the whole summer, and Elle is trying to write this screenwriting play, so she's trying to take inspiration from Parker. Throughout the story, they get closer, they hate each other, they get closer. It's kind of like a little bit back and forth, and we find out at the end if they fall in love or not. And the story was really interesting. I did enjoy the city vibes. As someone who's been to New York, I enjoyed like the niche references of, different tourist attractions and stuff. One thing I did not enjoy about this book is like the main character, Elle, the way the author wrote Elle is like we were missing parts of her story at the beginning. Like Elle was not opening up to us all the way, and that kind of bothered me a little bit. But later you find out why. I just personally had never read a romance like that, so it was a little bit like shocking for me. I was like, oh, I wasn't expecting this. But now that I see why the author did it, I can appreciate it a bit more. But overall, I thought this was a great book. Spoiler alert, if you don't want to hear that. The end where Elle is like, he buys her the townhouse and they're in the jewelry store. That made me so mad. Elle is so insufferable. She can't accept anything that's like good. Like, it just made me so mad. He was gonna not even like, he didn't just buy it for her. He bought it for her and was gonna put it in her name. So she was insufferable, honestly. She did not deserve Parker, but I thought the story was really cute. There was only like one spicy scene, and I really enjoyed like how the characters it was really like a slow burn. It was a really good slow burn. So I think this is a great book, and I rated it a 4.25 stars. So yeah, that is my July reading wrap up. Let me know your guys' thoughts on the books that I read for the month of July. Do you think I did good? I did a total of 6 books, so 4 I completed, 2 DNF'd. I would like to read 7 books in August, and my August TBR will be coming soon. So thank you guys so much for watching. It means the world to me. We are almost to 100 subscribers, which is insane. I did not think I'd be hitting 100 subscribers this summer. I just started this channel, so it really means a lot to me. Like, it just means a lot. So, not me getting emo over here, but thank you guys so much again for watching. Please subscribe. It would really mean the world to me. Like this video, comment. I love when you guys comment, and it just makes me happy. Let's have some book conversations. What was your favorite book that you read in July? That is what I want to know. So I'll catch y'all in the next video. Have a great weekend. Mwah. Bye.